Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Prep Talk. I'm Russ Robinson, voice of the Jackson Prep Patriots. Really glad to be back in the saddle last Friday night as Jackson Prep took on St. Joe of Madison. And, you know, it probably wasn't the game that everybody expected to be. It was probably not the game that everybody thought it was going to be. But it was a game, and it was one that we really had to play through. And I think we'll get some insight on that tonight as we talk to head coach Brent Hebner and get kind of the inside mind. Now the Patriots have to win 3 this year in order to win a state championship, and that means St. Joe Friday night, and then MRA the next week, and then Hartfield the next week. You can go ahead and pencil Hartfield in. They're not going to get beat, so that's what you're going to have to face at the end of this thing. But I think our guys are going to be up to it. I think we'll see a lot more different game this Friday than we saw last Friday. But do not be mistaken. This St. Joe team is a good football team. They've got a lot of athletes. There are a lot of sophomores on that team. So I look for in 2 years, Jackson Prep and some of the rest of the teams in the league are going to have to deal with those people. So we got a lot on deck. We're going to find out a little bit about Boy Stalker tonight. And also we're going to talk about football, kind of the end of the year, and also the playoffs coming up with Michael Stallworth and Matthew McKinley. So keep it right here on Prep Talk. We got a lot coming at you tonight. We're glad to have you with us wherever you are and whatever device you are watching on. Big thanks to Bobby Gross and his JPTV kids for putting these pieces together tonight for this show. They do a great job, and it's really something to see them come in and grab all these cameras and these mics and go out and do what they do. They're doing a very, very good job. So without further ado, we'll take a time out, and when we come back, we'll have more Prep Talk as Jackson Prep prepares to play St. Joe this Friday at home.
There are all kinds of letters we need to remember, like ABC, ESPN. But here are some letters you need to remember as well. GAF. That is the best roofing products on the market today, and that's why David Wilbanks and Elite Roofing use GAF. When you deal with Elite Roofing, you know you're receiving the best product, best installation, and best warranty in the market. Call Elite Roofing at 601-856-9426. So when it comes to your roof, you are the letters
Southern Ag Credit has been financing life outside the city limits for over a century. Whether it's helping families own land they can grow with, or farmers manage the land they grow on, Southern Ag Credit specializes in financing life outdoors. Let us finance your rural dream. Visit us online at southernagcredit.com.
Jennifer Mooneyham and the staff at For the Family Healthcare provide personalized healthcare for all ages in a comfortable environment. With a new address at 112 Lake Vista Place in Brandon near Community Place Retirement Home. It is convenient to residents in both Madison and Rankin counties. Health services include anything from wellness checks to the treatment of acute and chronic illnesses. Visit For the Family Healthcare for all of your healthcare needs. For the Family Healthcare, 112 Lake Vista Place, Brandon, Mississippi.
The Rogue includes an in-store support of clothing, sportswear, and furnishings. They also provide made-to-measure services for suits, sport coats, pants, and shirting. They have 3 in-house tailors to provide any alterations suitable for your clothing needs.
The Rogue has been dressing men and families in Jackson for over 50 years. Owned by a prep graduate, the Rogue supports Jackson Prep. Come by today and see the latest trends.
Located at 4450 I-55 North, Jackson, or visit our website at therogue.com.
Part of the enjoyment for me is interacting with patients.
I feel like we form a close bond with the patient as they're going through their ailment, their surgery, and their recovery.
As well as the new building, we now have our own physical therapy and our own surgery center.
I think sometimes you take for granted how vulnerable patients are. Enormous amount of trust they're putting in us to do the right thing.
You want the people you're operating on to trust you, you want to become friends with them, and you want them to have a good outcome.
Here at Capital Ortho, we look forward to seeing you and treating you.
Welcome back to Prep Talk. Russ Robinson with you tonight, along with the head baseball coach, but now also wearing a football headset, is Coach Brent Hebner. And I'm glad that we're both seasonal today because it's a little cool outside. Yeah. But I understand it's going, by the weekend be back to 80s. It's kind of crazy. Speaking of crazy, you've been in this isn't your first rodeo to be in football and or to work with that age student. And we've said this a lot of time. I know you have on a lot of your post-game shows. You've said, Russ, these kids are dealing with a lot of things other than these sports they're playing. It could be academics. It could be the arts. Could be a boyfriend-girlfriend thing. You know, it could be a test or whatever. How do you know where a kid, where to start and where to stop with a kid on that?
Well, I think you just kind of have to find out, how they deal with things every day, and for the most part, you really see it more at practice, when for the most part, kids are able to kind of leave it
at the door,
in the locker room, at the door. And, for the most part, our kids do a good job. But every once in a while, that trickles out on the field, and you see it, and you see their minds kind of racing everywhere. And you've kind of got to decide, do you push? You kind of let it go. Sometimes you see what's going on with kids. Because, like you said, kids deal with everything all the time. Some things we don't know about. Some things we do. And, you can't ever imagine what really is going through their head. And I think that's the part of being good coaches. And I think we do a great job of, leave it in locker room. And I think the best advice that I ever was told growing up playing, and I take this to coaching, is the 2 hours you're out at practice, if you're there, there's nothing you can do about it. So you might as well enjoy practice and get it done.
There's nothing you can do about the situation that you're concerned about.
That's right. Because if it was that important, you wouldn't be at practice. So if you're at practice, then it can be dealt with when you get home or when you get back in there. And that sports is the ultimate opportunity to get away from everything.
Yeah.
And if you're mad, it's the ultimate opportunity to go hit something or to go hit somebody or whatever it is to release that.
Yeah.
But it's also some of your closest friends too. And sometimes when you're going through your hardest things and some of the things you deal with, you just want to be around the people that care about you and you care about them.
Well, they give you a little extra pat on the rear end and say, because they know what you're going through.
Sure.
But they're encouraging you when you're out there. That makes you feel better. One of the things I always felt like in sports and playing it, and I tried to play all that I could, went to school part-time, was it made you feel better about your current situation and who you are.
Sure, absolutely. And especially here, it's a great school. We've done a lot of great things here at Prep, had a lot of great kids, but you need to have a little bit of pride about wearing that Prep across your chest or on your helmet or a jersey, whatever it is, and that gives yourself a little bit of ownership. This is part of my program too.
Kind of like you're a stockholder.
Yeah, that's right. And so what I do makes us even better. We've been fortunate to win a lot of championships over the years when I've been here. But you know what? They won them before I came, and they'll win them after I leave too. But while I'm here, it's fun to be a part of that. And these kids understand that too. It's fun to be a part of something like this, because people leave here, you go to college, and first thing they say, where'd you go to school? Yeah. Well, I went to Prep. Well, everybody knows who Prep is.
Right.
And that gives you a little bit of pride about yourself.
Well, that's definitely true, but now we've come to a part of this season. I told somebody the other day, I said, this has been one of the hardest seasons. They said, you mean the team's that hard? I said, no, for injuries. We've had players hurt. We've had cheerleaders in boots and hurt.
Yeah.
We've had trainers, band members.
Announcers
on the DL. It's just been a rough year. And so going into last Friday night is one of those games that on paper everybody knew, okay? They'd known, the difficulties that St. Al had been in, St. Joe had been in. And everybody kind of went to the game like, well, let's just get. They didn't. They came over here ready to play. And I was surprised at the physical attributes of that team.
Yeah, they're a very athletic team. Did a really good job. They brought a lot of pressure at us that we didn't handle very well. We made some mistakes early, kept them in the game. Major really helped us out on the punt return to kind of get us back in it. But, we've talked a lot about this week. You can't let distractions get to you. It was senior night, last regular season game. We already knew who and where we were playing in the playoffs.
Have to play an extra game.
Yeah, and so you just can't let that factor into it, and we did, But give them credit. They came over here. They came ready to play. Very athletic. We liked some of the players and the way that they played.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of gave us a wake-up call, too, of, hey, we better get our butts in gear a little bit and let's get after it. And, this week has been one of the probably best weeks of practice. It's been one of the hardest weeks of practice we've had probably in a while. But it's been a good week of practice just to kind of see the guys refocus a little bit. And it's like Coach Brewer reminded them Monday very early in practice is we're 0-0. So you can either go 3-0 over the next 3 weeks, or you can go whatever and 1. And, that's the goal. But the only game we can control is Friday night.
Right.
And, now I think the guys kind of responded to that really well.
I felt like St. Joe, their quarterback, reminded me, as White, I think was his name, reminded me of DJ Smith that Greenville Christian had 2 years ago that they picked up on waivers, but that's a story for another day. But he was the same kind of athlete. He's big, he's strong, not fast, but shifty, and could throw the ball. You had to stay with that guy forever.
Right. No, you really did. He's a very good athlete. Coach and I were talking about it, watching him warm up. He throws better than we, really thought, and in some of the films we'd seen. But he throws it short well, and he's got a good deep ball too. But he's got some athletes around him.
Yes,
so
he does.
Coach Brewer, as the defense, they always did a good job kind of keeping him contained. We made some mistakes, but we've kind of cleaned those up this week. But when you got a playmaker like that, you can't just sit back and say, well, we got to defend the pass, or we're going to defend the running back. He gives you another threat. So you kind of got to know where that quarterback is at all times. So it's been a good week. It's not always easy to duplicate. In practice they wouldn't let me get back there. So, but you kind of have to know where he is and who's back in the backfield the whole time.
We were talking about all the injuries and everything, and that's the downside. The upside is you've been able to play a lot of kids in a lot of games that we're going to have as juniors and seniors next year. And you take a guy like Ken Core, who comes in as a linebacker, and he comes in the other night. He makes 2 out of the first 3 plays after coming into the ball game. And here's a guy that can't crack that starting lineup of linebackers, but he's going to be right there next year when you're ready to call linebackers now.
Yeah, and that's important. Even though you want your guys to play and you want to continue to get better, but you still want to bring some of those younger guys on and make sure they do a good job. Ken's done a good job. Jake Bailey had a couple big plays.
Yes, he did.
The other night. And you'd like to see that. Gardner's getting more reps at receiver, and
Peyton Frazier coming into his own.
Yeah, absolutely. So you want to see those guys, even though you're building to the end of the season. It's still good to have that. You can't duplicate game speed. No matter how hard we try, you still want to. There's nothing like a game, and so when these guys get the opportunity in games, it's really good for them. And you just you want to see that, and it's you see it with Billy all the time as he continues to get better at quarterback. All these games that he's played in over the last 3 months, he continues to become better and better because of he's now game speed is slowing down,
right,
and that makes a difference to everybody.
He's catching up to it, and it's not overpowering him. Let's go ahead and because I've always been able to talk to you. You've always been able to say the way it is, and you've never backed down, never had to. Let's talk about the plays at MRA. That everybody's wondering about. Why didn't we kick a field goal? Why did we run this? Or why didn't we run that? What goes into making that play call?
Well, we were in such a rhythm, calling the game and kind of had it, where we wanted to. And, we had been moving the ball so well. And when you get in the rhythm of moving the ball and you like to play call, and Coach Goodwin's so good at calling plays and mixing it up so well, you find that groove and you don't ever think about, hey, this is what we need to do different. And, we continued to push the ball down the field. We knew where the time was and where the clock was. And, it just felt good about it, felt good, with defense. And, sometimes it goes your way and sometimes it doesn't. And it didn't. But, you learn from it and you move on. But that's part of any sport, especially football, is, when you've got that game flow and you got that rhythm, you just think, hey, we're just going to do with what we've been doing. And we move the ball so well, you don't ever really look back and second guess it. And,
if it ain't broke, you don't fix it.
No. And, no matter what other people do, as long as you're confident on, on the sideline, that's the main thing. And, so we live and learn, and, you move on to the next time, and the next time you may do the same thing.
Exactly. Well, and lost in all of the conversations is the fact they did go 90 yards and earn that touchdown.
Sure, they did. And you tip your hat to them, and, and that's what we've said. And, but that's the thing that we've learned as coaches and players now. You just got to keep going. Last week's a new week. We were able to get the win and move forward. We were able to make corrections on Monday with what we needed to do. We had a really good, fun practice on Monday. And but now, you come out Friday night, and I think you're going to see a little different ball game. I think you're going to see a little more focus. You don't have all the stuff around senior night and everything else going on. And hey, it's playoff time, and there's nothing like November football in Mississippi on Friday nights.
You're exactly right about that. And very quickly, a West Jones team that I thought was really one of the best in the state going in and coming out now finds themselves number one in their category. They had a breakdown the week after prep because they beat Terry 2-0.
Yeah.
And so Coach Goodman told me, said, well, I called Coach over there and he said, man, we just had a Jackson Prep letdown. Because you're talking about emotions of 15, 16, 17-year-old kids.
Absolutely. And it's not always easy because you get up for those big games. It'll be easy, in the next week or two to get up for games, and so we had to make sure we were up for Friday night. And we are. We like where we're at practice this week and the way it started. But, I think we learned a lot from that game too. You hate to lose. Nobody likes to lose. But we learned a lot. It was, it was a really good team, but it kind of slowed down some of these other games. And, they're an athletic team. Wish them best of luck, but just kind of like St. Joe's an athletic team, and we kind of realize now we can play with these teams. We got to get after it, and I think the boys are ready to accept the challenge.
He's one of the best in the business as far as I'm concerned. Brent Hebner, the head baseball coach here, and also offensive coordinator?
No, just receivers coach.
Okay, well, you take what they give you, and the receivers having a bang up here. So we appreciate you coming by. I know your calendar's a little stacked at this time of the year, but we appreciate all that you do here at Prep.
Thank you, Russ.
Brent Hebner with us here on Prep Talk. We'll be back with more of the show in just a moment.
Since 1968, Ewing & Ray has been leading the way as the area's premier foundation repair company. With our state-of-the-art equipment, licensed professional engineers, and certified technicians, we are able to ensure the right solution with the best warranty in the business. Whether you have drainage problems, need foundation repair, or need a specialized foundation system installed, for over 50 years, Ewing & Ray is a trusted source to ensure your home or business is safe and stable for years to come. Contact us today by visiting our website or giving us a call.
You haven't had good chicken until you've had Super Chicks. Super Chicks is made with 0 preservatives, 0 phosphates, and 0 dyes. There are many sauce options and a fresh new frozen custard every week. Everything is made 100% cooked to order, so it's very fresh. There's also many fry options such as salt, rosemary pepper, sweet, and Cajun. And don't let me forget the loaded fries. Super Chicks is a great place for prep friends and family to connect after events. And it's so good.
The Tire Depot, with locations on Old Fannin Road in Brandon and on Terry Road in Byram, they're your neighbors and they appreciate your business. More than just a tire store, they offer alignments, brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, shocks, struts, leveling kits, and a whole lot more. They are family owned and operated. All of their techs have 20 years or more of experience. The Tire Depot, owned and operated by a Jackson Prep family.
Visit Eric Stallworth at Acura of Jackson, 828 Adcock Street, Ridgeland, Mississippi, 601-978-2228.
Hi, Chuck Smith here from Smith Brothers Body Shop. Smith Brothers has been proudly serving the Jackson metro area since 1946. We consider you to be our friend to ensure the best experience possible. If you've chosen a body shop in the past because they were right around the corner and had a bad experience, or you've been treated poorly elsewhere, come see what a difference quality service can make at Smith Brothers Body Shop. Call us at 601-353-5217. At Smith Brothers, you're more than a number. Smith Brothers Body Shop, the best from us to you.
Welcome back to Prep Talk. We've got a report coming up now about the end of football season and the playoffs, because really they're two different animals. You get to the playoffs, you're 0-0 going into that, but how did you finish the regular season? What's the attitude of the football team? What have we got ahead of us in the playoffs? Michael Stallworth and Matthew McKinley have this report tonight on Prep Talk about football for Jackson Prep.
Here, I'm Matthew McKinley. I'm here with the linebackers coach, Coach Burke. Coach Burke, we're getting ready for playoffs for St. Joe. can you just tell us about your preparation with the linebackers?
Well, we played them last week, and we got to see a lot of what they did. But they're a very good team. So we've got to really watch them. Got some skill guys, some wide receivers, got a very good running back, very good quarterback. So we've been working on making sure we can tackle well, which we did pretty good in that game before. But this playoffs now, everything's different. Everybody's 0-0, right? There's no, hey, lose this and season's over with. So linebackers have been playing well. We've been running to the ball, making sure we can tackle, wrap up, get to our coverages, fill those holes and everything. And I look forward to Friday night in the playoffs.
Yeah, you talked about everybody 0-0. That leads to my next question. What is the atmosphere like in MAIS playoff football?
I tell you what, it gets pretty intense. It's a whole different level. So we always say, hey, there's practice level at the very beginning of the year, and they get into games and everything's so much faster. We get into these 3 weeks now, it gets really fast and it gets intense because everybody knows with the 6 teams that we have, everybody knows that this could be it. So it's a lot more intense. Everybody wants to play a little bit harder during this time, and hopefully everybody, the 2 teams, we can be one of those teams to get to Saturday for Thanksgiving.
For sure. And last question, are you ready for Friday, and are you just, I don't know, I guess hype about it?
Hey, always ready for Friday. Okay, people always say, how hyped are you now? I'm not hyped now because we don't play right now. Okay, I'll get all that can be done. Get too hyped now, Friday's not going to be any good. But when Friday comes about 5 o'clock, it turns on. We got to get ready. We have to be sound. We have to know what we're going to do. Everybody's got to be on the same page, communicate. Everybody's got to go hard. And if we can do all that, then results will be the results we want after Friday night.
Thank you, Coach Burt. Yeah. I'm here with star quarterback Billy Puckett. Billy, tell me how your preparation is for this first playoff game.
Well, we played them, I guess, last week, so we pretty much know everything that's going to happen and know what we got to do. We got our game plan right, and so, we're just making sure we're perfecting it in practice.
As a starting quarterback, tell us about your discipline.
Well, I like to be very detailed on what the coach wants, and just try to be as detailed as I can on stuff like that. So.
Yep, and having Major Quinn as one of your wide receivers, what is that like? Do you enjoy him?
Yeah, he's very easy to throw to. He gets open and does stuff right, and he's very easy to throw to, very easy to get the ball to.
Thank you. I'm here with wide receiver DB Major Quinn. Major, playing both sides of the ball, I know it's tough on you playing a lot of snaps. How does that affect your stamina during the game?
Well, I do a lot of running during the week, trying to keep myself in shape, and it's a lot in the games. It's a lot to play over about 170 snaps every game, so it gets tiring, but I always tell myself I got to do this for the school and keep going. So, one thing I like to do is I write Meredith's name on my wrist tape, and so I look down and I just tell myself when I see that when I'm tired, if she can fight through all the stuff that she's been fighting through, then I can fight through a little tired. So,
yeah, that's good. And as a DB, I know that they've got some pretty decent wide receivers. How are you looking to bounce back after last week?
Yeah, they've got some talented receivers. Number 3, Keyshawn Coleman. He's a great athlete. They got out there out wide. So we're looking to get in his hip pocket and find him a lot. But really, it's just doing your job and finding your key and trusting that your defensive front will get there and pressure the quarterback.
And as a wide receiver, catching balls from Billy, just tell me how that goes and tell me how dialed he is as a quarterback.
Billy's fantastic. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league and definitely in the state. He's a fantastic player. He knows where to throw the ball at the right times, and it's easy when the St. Joe's running that man coverage. I just tell Billy, I said, look, I'm gonna get open, you find me, and he always does. So it's great. It's a good connection.
Thank you, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Sarv. We're here with starting middle linebacker Thomas Cross. So Cross, last year went to championship. I know we're trying to do that again. What is your motivation going to these playoffs in the next 3 weeks?
Well, I think I just want to beat Hartfield really badly, and then if we could beat Hartfield in the state championship, that'd be awesome.
So I know you're one of the main leaders and seniors on this defense. How does that affect, and how do you try to affect the younger kids and be like a role model to them?
Well, I think accountability is the biggest thing. Everybody knows what to do. You just got to hold each other accountable, and if somebody obviously busts or mess up, you just got to flush it and move on.
And actually, since it's playoffs, is there anything different in the way we practice or the way just football goes?
Monday was pretty rough, but our practices have been a lot harder. We've been a lot more focused now that it is the playoffs, and so I think that's going to help us.
Thank you, Tom. We're here with Athletic Director Will Crosby. So, Coach Crosby, with playoffs coming up, how does this affect and encourage the whole prep community?
Well, anytime you go into the postseason for any sport, you add a little bit more excitement, right? It's the end of the year. The importance of the game is a little bit more, right? It's win or go home, and so that's exciting for the players, and it certainly makes it exciting for the student body and the whole community too.
Thank you. We're here with senior cheerleaders Kenny Cleveland and Livy Matthews. We're going to playoff, guys. How do we feel?
I'm really excited. I have a really good feeling about this week because of the outcome of last week. And just going to cheer our heart out. I'm excited.
I am super pumped because this pep rally is one of my favorites. It's throwback. We get to dress up in old uniforms, and it's all super cute, and I'm super excited for that. And obviously, I'm also excited for the football game. I have a good feeling about it, so yeah, that's it.
Since it is playoffs, are there any special dances or anything different we're doing? No, since it's playoffs.
We are doing a different dance this week. It's not one that we haven't done before, but we haven't done it this season before. We've done it in past seasons. But.
So the dance is kind of a throwback itself.
Hey!
I see what you did there. Thank you, guys.
Visit your local Dunkin' at 403 Riverwind Drive in Pearl.
Discover the power of a radiant smile at Reservoir Smiles Dentistry, your ultimate destination for complete dental care. Dr. Amy Schamberger and her dedicated team specialize in a range of services to cater for all your dental needs. From essential general dentistry to transformative cosmetic dentistry, they've got you covered. They offer same-day crowns, teeth whitening treatments, Invisalign and Botox treatments, because a confident smile goes hand in hand with a radiant face. Your journey to a perfect smile begins at Reservoir Smiles.
Hello, I'm Jason Womack with Womack Auto Sales in downtown Brandon.
We've been here for 25 years serving the community, and we plan on being here for another 25 years.
Came to Womack in Brandon. I was looking for a Tahoe. Walked in, the folks were good to me. Hey, look how I ended up leaving. New Tahoe.
Womack's Auto Sales helped me finance the truck of my dreams.
Come out and take a look at our new facility and meet our staff.
Take exit 56 to downtown Brandon. And remember, at Womack's, your job is your credit.
Malone is a company in motion, delivering award-winning roofing, metal walls, and maintenance. With the use of Suprema products like Alsan liquid flashings, Alsan coating products, and more, Malone continues to prove there is nothing we can't accomplish. Protecting people and what matters to you.
Ferguson & Associates Architecture is a new generation architectural firm that combines state-of-the-art ideas and solutions with years of experience managing demanding projects. As a full-service architecture firm, Ferguson & Associates provides a complete range of architectural services. They plan, design, and manage the build. From creative concept to ribbon cutting, they're there to ensure your success. Visit their website at fergusonarchitecture.net for more information or contact them directly at 601-607-7933.
Rainey's Carpet Care is a locally owned and operated business that's been providing quality service to Central Mississippi since 1986. They offer 24-hour emergency water damage services, mold and mildew treatment, carpet care, pet odor removal, air duct cleaning, tile and grout cleaning, Oriental rug cleaning, carpet stretching and repair, upholstery cleaning. They offer it all. Visit them online at raineyscarpetcare.com or call today at 601-956-1515.
Welcome back to Prep Talk. Austin Kraft and Bank Hewitt put a piece together for us tonight about boys soccer. You know, the girls wound up their season and wound up second in the conference. And so now it's the boys' turn to get out there, which means John Marcus Duncan and his soccer players are tuning up and getting ready for this year and to make another run at a state championship. So let's take a look at this cut about Jackson Prep soccer coming up this year.
I'm Austin Kraft here with the head soccer coach, John Marcus Duncan. So, Coach Duncan, coming off of a tough loss in the state championship last year, and we really felt like we weren't in the spot that we needed to be after that season. So, what are your kind of thoughts going into this year, and how we can kind of get it back to where it needs to be?
Yeah, obviously, the championship game last year didn't go how we thought it was going to go. It's one of those tastes that stay in your mouth for quite a long time, and I think that really drove some of the guys this summer to work harder this summer. And then when we started the school year, having the strength and conditioning program, the participation in that was phenomenal. And then, the Wednesday training was really good. So I think that loss, accompanied with what we've done, the work we've done in the fall so far, it has put us in a good situation to get back on top this year.
Yeah, so early in the season on the schedule, a couple teams that kind of stick out. We play South Haven High School and Miami Beach High School from Miami. So how do you think those games are going to help us as the season goes on?
Obviously, I think one thing that we always have to look at when we play the public schools is the physicality of the game. Miami Beach contacted us just kind of out of the blue, and of course we did everything we could to make that game happen. They're also going to play Clinton when they're here, opening up with St. Andrews. Huge game for us, as they beat us last year, so we've got that revenge factor for us. Going up to South Haven early, great game for us. And then traveling to Ocean Springs is going to come here to play, and then we've got Oxford and Tupelo on the schedule as well. So obviously those games, the pace of those games, the physicality, we like to see where we are with those characteristics.
Yeah. So, Coach Duncan, on the team this year, we have a lot of seniors that are going to make a big role, but there's also a bunch of young guys who are going to be in the starting lineup and coming off the bench early. What young player do you think is going to make the biggest impact?
Yeah, I think there's two or three that I think could really make an impact. Thomas Hewitt Oswald, obviously, you're seeing what he's doing on the football field right now, but he really came into his element at the end of last season, scored some goals. Just his speed alone kind of sets him apart. I think Worth McGee's got a great shot to be a solid player for us this year and really make an impact. And Rhodes Morgan is another one that Rhodes has buffed up throughout the year, and his confidence level is increasing every day.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Coach Duncan. Thank you. I'm here with Rhodes Morgan, who is now a sophomore on the team. Rhodes, you're one of the few that were on the varsity team as a ninth grade, and you got to play and travel. And how did that really help your development going into your sophomore year?
I think the intensity level between JV and varsity is a big difference, and being on varsity as a freshman helped me grow a lot as a player.
Yeah, so you're now a sophomore. It's really like you're with a bunch of other sophomores on the team. How are you looking to have an impact? Because, you definitely play a big role on the team this year.
I'm just hoping I'll start and not get yelled at by Coach Duncan.
It's a good answer. It's a good answer. Thank you, Rhodes.
I'm here with Austin Kraft, a senior and captain on the soccer team. Austin, being a captain, what are your responsibilities for the younger people and then also people your age?
So kind of before the season, kind of just making sure everybody was going to weights on Mondays and Thursdays, and we also had practice on Wednesdays, which was kind of said as optional, but tried to make sure everybody was there. We did some just practices with just players, which was actually very beneficial. And then now that the season has started, just kind of working in practice, make sure everybody's working their hardest and getting better every day.
Mm-hmm. Certainly, you got to get the team bonding going. So, at practice, what does a typical practice day look like for you?
So, you usually get there, you do some warm-ups, and then we go do passing patterns and stuff, which is very big because you have to make sure people are talking, because if you're not talking, it's not very game-like and it's not very beneficial to you or the team. Then we go into possession, which is very, very game-like, puts you in tough situations on the ball, but there's no goals. And then after that, we usually play or do some shooting and stuff, which is very fun, and yeah.
So y'all should certainly be ready for the tough year that y'all will have this year. Hopefully some good opponents, but hopefully y'all will come out on top. So, how would you say that other people on the team are feeling about this season?
I think we're all very confident. Now, obviously, we have a sour taste in our mouth after last year. That was a tough way to go out. But I think everybody thinks we're a good team. There's very good team chemistry. Everybody's friends with everybody. So, I think we're all very confident for the season, just ready to get it going.
Got to get some revenge. All right, thank you, Austin.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm here with strength and conditioning coach Taylor. He's been working with the soccer team for a little while now. So people don't think of soccer as being like a strong and aggressive sport, but how long would you say that you've been working with them now?
That's since the first of school, so beginning of August.
Okay, that's definitely getting them in good shape for the soccer season. So how would your soccer workouts differ from that of baseball and basketball?
So soccer is more of a lateral sport, more of a multi-directional sport. So we're going to challenge and train more laterally than we would baseball a little bit more. But yeah, overall though, I mean, they're athletes just like everybody else. So we're going to train strength, we're going to train speed, we're going to train power. So very similar.
Would you say that you train the lower body more than the upper body for soccer, or not really?
Yeah.
And who would you say that the strongest on the soccer team is?
Well, I know Austin wants me to say him, but I don't know. I might go with Austin. He's up there.
Austin? All right. That's a good answer. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Austin Kraft here with Cole Crest, captain of the varsity soccer team. Cole, what does it mean to you to be the captain as a senior on this team?
It really just means, I take a leadership role in this team. Being a senior, I've got a lot of on-field experience as well as off the field with practices and stuff. And it just means, helping out a little bit of the younger guys as well as keeping practice, serious, but also a good environment for everybody.
Cole, so the last 3 years of soccer prep has been very forgetful. We haven't won it all. And coming off of a tough loss in the state championship last year, what is your mindset and looking to bounce back and kind of get back to where we feel we need to be every year?
I think one big thing is during the regular season we've shown our ability. We went 10-0 last year in conference, but we just haven't been able to have anything to show for it at the end of the season. So we need to come into a mindset of, we've got to prove our ability throughout an entire season, not just the regular season. We got to prove it in playoffs as well. So we just got to come into the mindset of we're not better than anybody because we haven't shown it in the big games.
Yeah, that's completely right. So, Cole, in preparation for the season, I know we've taken a little different preparation than we usually do. What does that look like?
So this year we've done things differently. We've decided to do strength training twice a week with Coach Taylor, and then just one on-field session on Wednesdays. But as of Monday, we've officially started, real soccer practice. So we'll be doing that 4 to 5 days a week now.
And Cole, so this year we kind of have a young team. I would say we have a lot of seniors, but we also have a lot of sophomores that are going to be looking to make a big impact. Who do you think is really going to stand out in that sophomore class?
Last year a player who really impressed me was Jetson Hollingsworth and Thomas Hewitt Oswald, Worth McGee. Those are 3 guys, and Rose Morgan as well. We got a lot of sophomores who can really step up this year and play key roles even as young guys.
I completely agree. Thank you, Cole. I'm here with Elliot Davis, who's a junior midfielder on the prep soccer team. So, Elliot, you practice a lot on your own. What have you been doing before the season in preparation to get ready?
We're certainly practicing with my club team. We do that about 3 times a week, and then games on the weekend. And sometimes I'll go out there on my own and do some drills, trying to get ready for the season.
So, Elliot, the cold weather has kind of rolled around just this week, and that's pretty typical of prep soccer season. Usually cold and rainy is our favorable weather. Do you like playing in that or warm weather, typically 95 degrees?
That's a tough one, but I'm gonna have to say cold weather actually. Just when you feel the cold weather, it's prep soccer season, and it's just kind of like a tradition playing in the cold and the rain. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go a little on the chillier side.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. That's what I would choose too. So Elliot, getting your mind right before a game, what is your kind of go-to to get ready?
You gotta put the AirPods in and listen to some music. Maybe even watch some bangers right before the game. But yeah, that's about it.
Some bangers. What are your favorite players to get bangers from?
I'm gonna have to say Bellingham.
Bellingham? Oh yeah, for reference, a banger is just a really good goal. But thank you, Elliot.
Yeah.
Slava's Grill, Open weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and on Saturdays from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And make sure to check out the lunch menu.
Signmark, your #1 hometown retailer for custom stamps, signs, and marketing products. We're growing and we want to take you, our loyal customers, with us. Whether you have an event, starting a new business, or wish to expand your existing business, Signmark is committed to helping you meet your design and marketing needs. Come see the friendly staff at Signmark at Pearson Road in Pearl and make your mark in the business world. Signmark, online at signmark.us or by phone at 601-932-6699.
Sometimes opportunities begin where the road ends, where pavement fades to gravel and the sounds of the city scatter in the breeze. This is life outside the city limits, made possible by financing from Southern Ag Credit. From farmstead to homestead and everything in between. Apply for your rural loan today at southernagcredit.com.
16 speakers, 272 horsepower.
Visit Eric Stallworth at Acura of Jackson, 828 Adcock Street, Ridgeland, Mississippi, 601-978-2228.
Welcome back to Prep Talk. That'll put a wrap on tonight's show. You know, one of the most interesting nights of the year for me, and if you've been calling these games and following Prep, you know, as long as I have, which is 21 years this year, senior night becomes kind of special because you've seen these young kids. I mean, I remember when, of course, he's not a senior, but next year he will be. Major Quinn played a ninth grade game, and I knew then, I said, this kid's special. He's going to be really good. And you can go up and down that line of seniors last week here at Prep that have contributed in some form or fashion, maybe not to football, but to something else, but maybe to football or not something else. But they were active and they were involved in it. And to see these kids grow up and go on to the next phase of their life after they graduate from Jackson Prep, it's a pretty special night. I know it was for me when I was a senior, and it hasn't changed much over the years. That you give those 4 or 5 years of what you've got inside of you to football or basketball, baseball, whatever you're going to do. And on that particular night, it culminates, and you get to have the folks clap for you, and it really, it really warms the heart when you're down there and you're a senior. And it's kind of bittersweet because you know that that your end days are coming in football, but hopefully we'll be able to stretch those end days another 3 weeks. So you keep it right here. We'll have another edition of Prep Talk next week, and hopefully we'll be talking about the Jackson Prep Patriots taking on MRA and moving on into the playoffs with them. So for all of us at Prep Talk, this is Russ Robinson saying so long. See you back here next week.